Is the AI free lunch over? Musk versus Altman, week one revealed. Microsoft wants you back. Diagnosis hallucination. And how are you going to survive the nightmare on Job Street? All this in this week's tech column by Netpublik. Hello, I'm Vishnu K. Mahmood.
With Nur Kodri here. I'm so excited with this new studio.
And yes, a very nice studio with this gigantic light bulb hanging on top of us.
How's the vibe, man?
We're vibing.
We have some great stories here, some hot topics from the tech world, and we're going to discuss it one by one. Make sure you watch it till the end and join the conversation by comment on the comment section.
And subscribe. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, please, if you haven't. We're entering the second week of May, and if you thought the AI revolution is going to be a bargain, think again. From soaring costs of frontier models to a courtroom drama that could decide the fate of humanity and AI, the efficiency of technology is being put to the ultimate test. Today, we're asking, is the AI dream becoming a financial and existential nightmare?
Or I shoot it a nightmare on Job Street.
This is just a dream. He isn't real. He isn't real.
Let's dive in. Newsbyte 1, the AI price hike. The honeymoon phase of cheap AI is ending. Frontier companies are hiking prices as they realize that even with NVIDIA's efficient chips, the power and compute required are astronomical. GitHub is planning to begin charging Copilot users based on actual usage rather than a flat fee, and some Claude users report their monthly token allotments are vanishing in mere minutes. Even NVIDIA executives admit that for many, AI is more expensive than actual human workers. So go figure. Everybody's trying to go onto the AI hype train, and yet it seems to be getting suddenly a little bit more expensive.
My first comment is, you're using honeymoon phase quite for so few times, Fish. So you need to change your prompt, yeah?
Wow.
And it's not only not just the gas price going up to the roof, also the tokens blowing up.
Yeah, I used to be able to make a lot of documents, and then I could also make some images. Then suddenly I am deprioritized on images on 2 of the AI platforms that I'm using. I won't mention any names, but yeah, it's getting there. No names. But yeah, I mean, like as we said about this thing, I think like a while back, is it worthwhile for businesses to basically put all of your eggs in one basket into one AI platform?
It's not right now.
And even NVIDIA executives themselves said, hey, you know what? AI is getting a bit more expensive than actual humans.
Yeah.
So why are you letting go of all these humans, which help build the company, which have institutional knowledge to help build and grow the company? You're losing that. So that's kind of scary.
Yeah, I quote Brian Catanzaro, the NVIDIA's VP, told Axios, for my team, the cost of compute is far beyond the cost of the employees.
And then if the lights go out, then what do you do? So yeah, being from Gen X, we remember power. We remember rolling blackouts. We remember like you have to have a generator and all kind of stuff. Yeah, this is now 2026. Great, but you know you should always have backups, and this seems a little bit excessive if you ask me.
Even the CFO of the OpenAI also complained. I think she expressed her concerns about the cost of getting higher and higher. So, if the OpenAI cannot make the revenues good, so the cost of the compute is going up and up and up, and it's not reaching the balance yet.
And they may have to postpone their IPO to 2027. There's a rumor about that, but who knows?
By the end of 2026 or 2027?
I think their original plan was 2026, but SpaceX is going to do it first. Anthropic, according to secondary market, is now allegedly higher in valuation compared to OpenAI in the secondary market. So we'll have to see how that goes. But also with NVIDIA, I mean, like with technology is supposed to be more efficient as time goes by. You know, you may have a more stronger chip, but it should be more efficient. We're not seeing that yet with these.
Not this year, I think, yeah.
Not yet. So we'll have to see.
So for the CEO who wants to fire their employees and replacing with AI, hold your thoughts and make your employees can do the works with the AI.
Indeed. It'll be much more effective and much more efficient. So, Newsbyte number 2, Musk versus Altman, week 1. The trial of the century has officially kicked off in San Francisco last week. Elon Musk claims he was duped into funding a nonprofit that Sam Altman turned into a closed-source profit machine. Musk warns that OpenAI's current path could kill us all, although he did admit in court that his own XAI distills OpenAI's models to keep pace. And this distilling process is the same thing that the frontier companies have been accusing the Chinese companies of doing, where they ask questions, get the answers, they pay for the accounts, and they feed all their answers and questions into their own AI, and boom, you have a model.
But at least Musk fund the OpenAI at the early days, so maybe he has the right for distilling the data from this OpenAI.
It is a question about, well, is it a donation or is it an investment? If it's a donation and the organization changed their mind, what to do with the donation, do you have to give it back? Do you have to give back the money? Musk is basically he's also chasing the money that, hey, it was supposed to be a nonprofit, it's now a for-profit, and they've gained a lot of money. So he wants his share. So that's
also confusing for me, because at the first time, the OpenAI claimed itself as a foundation, non-profit for the good of humanity, but they need the money in order to get the data center bigger, the computing power bigger. So they will ask. So they ask for the money to some place, someone, and get in touch with Elon Musk, right?
Yep.
And yeah, Elon Musk agreed to fund this activity for non-profit activity and for the good humanity. But suddenly, I don't know, maybe some admin changed his mind, because in order to get the machine running, it needs more money.
Well,
so the logic things is not begging to other person or to other organization. The most logic things is to make this is as a profit organization. But now,
the other idea would be to remain a nonprofit and get funding from the Microsofts, the Googles, the Metas, and work together as one. You know, I think recently Senator, what's Senator's name? Vermont, Bernie, yeah. Recently, Senator Bernie Sanders even suggested of having a global community of how to regulate AI with the Chinese, the Russians, everybody.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, they don't like that idea. They don't like the idea of regulation. So
they don't like to be regulated. Yeah. They don't want to be changed on their necks.
Yeah, but there should be guardrails. There always should be guardrails. So we'll have to see what week 2 brings in. There's been a lot of interest in this court case because of the plaintiff and the defendant. So we'll see how it goes for week 2.
Yeah, I'm questioning the Elon Musk motivation. Is it really pure about the non-profit and then go to profit, or it's just the business competitions?
Byte 3, Microsoft's plan K2. Microsoft is in full damage control mode after Outlook crashing for astronauts on the Artemis 2 lunar mission, a botched April update that nuked users' backups. The Windows 11 reputation is also at an all-time low because of all of the Copilot integration. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella has announced Plan K2, a radical software overhaul to win back customers who are not loving the current buggy ecosystem.
Who said that? I love Microsoft. I use it every day. I cannot live without Microsoft. I cannot live without Windows.
I'm a Linux person, so I don't really know about that. But I mean, it has been reported that a lot of people don't like how Copilot has been fully integrated into the Microsoft systems.
Yeah, I don't use the Copilot.
Oh, really?
Yes.
No. Yeah.
I use it for some time, but now then I abandon it.
Oh, really? Why is that?
With the new models, better. So I prefer the other models. I prefer the Gemini on the Google Docs.
Well, there's some rumors that some Linux distributions wants to do something similar to that, but of course it's going to be much heavier on the machines. All my computers are 10 years old at the very least, so I wouldn't be putting on any of that one as well. Yeah, but I mean, like basically, I think Microsoft still has a majority of the market. And
Of course.
I think a lot of developers are still on the Windows platform.
Yeah.
So this may be a small hiccup, but it's been reported that Linux is also catching up. Steam has recently reported that their Linux users have doubled in the past. Of course, it's still single digits, but still, it's a pretty significant number for Steam.
So Microsoft need to work harder for their marketing plan here, because I think last year Microsoft like done nothing, like only promoting the Copilot things, yeah. But you know that Copilot things not getting picked up by many. So just in this year, Microsoft made some announcement about the new leader for the Microsoft Gaming called Xbox, Asha Sharma. And then after that, nothing.
Silence.
Yeah, silence.
Yeah. I haven't used Windows in a long time, so I can't really
So
comment
I have
on that.
no use talking about Windows with you. Yeah.
Yeah, because I've been using Linux for 5 years now. I mean, I remember Windows 7 was the last one I used. Windows 2000 was the best stable I used, like 20 years ago.
You didn't experience the Windows 10?
Yeah, no. Windows 10. No. I've used Windows 10 in the office, but my personal machine only had Windows 7 for gaming, and I blame Grand Theft Auto, Vice City. That is the only reason why I update my computers, because of Grand Theft Auto.
Because it's not available on Linux, yeah.
God help me if Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out and it requires a 5060, I'm going to be in trouble.
Yeah, I know Microsoft gets the profits from the Azure and also the cloud projects, but in the consumer side, consumers are lacking exciting.
I think that comes back down to the applications. So if there's no exciting applications, there's nothing exciting on the platform. So, I mean, Facebook used to be an exciting application to use. People used it on the computers, on their mobile. Now it just seems to be very, very quiet.
So make sure the GTA 6 accompanied by Windows 12. Okay?
Windows 12 might come out before GTA 6 come out. And that meme is getting tiresome. So come on, Rockstar, get with it.
Let's move to the next byte.
Newsbyte 4, the hallucination diagnosis. A security researcher recently proved how dangerous AI yes men can be. They published not a peer-reviewed, but a public paper on a completely fake disease that the AI not only diagnosed, but expanded upon with plausible sounding symptoms. While AI continues to outperform doctors in standardized tests, the lack of an accuracy check is raising massive red flags for the medical society. So, this is not a good idea, but okay, so.
And it's a brilliant idea.
It is basically what she did was she poisoned the well. She basically published something that was totally wrong, yet the AI took it, read it, incorporated it, used it, expand on it, and so basically they
eat up alive and then spit it out just as it is.
Yes, and it's not true. What was the name of that disease again?
Bixonimania. How come a disease called Bixonimania?
So basically, this researcher published a preprint paper that's not peer-reviewed. It got published. It got sucked in by the AI, and boom, the AI is now using it when people are asking, "I'm feeling anxious. I'm feeling sad," and boom, there is the diagnosis, even though it's totally bogus.
The writer is actually a a legit researcher, yeah. Her name is Almira Osmanovich Turnstrom. So actually, she purposely wrote this research paper as a fake, and he also, and she also put it all the and also she put it all hilarious facts items in the papers. And how come the internet suck it and also spit it out just like that?
She mentioned Starfleet Academy. She mentions SpongeBob. Is it SpongeBob?
No. Sideshow Bob
Sideshow Bob
Foundation.
as a reference.
Yes. And also, the author of the study, she called it Laziv Iskubijenovic. Translated from Slovenian means the lying loser.
So I mean, like, seriously, the AI should have known this. The AI, the all-knowing AI, should have seen, read, and understood that, hey, this sounds kind of bogus. Really, Starfleet Academy. Really, Sideshow Bob. And then the Slovenian name, which is totally bogus. Why didn't they find out?
So this is even funnier. Early in the paper, in the text said, this entire paper is a made up.
If the AI can read a hidden prompt, why can't it read that? So it goes back to a quote from The Watchmen. Who's watching the watchers? Who's watching the AI? Who's going to correct the AI?
And commenting to that, someone put this as a reference in the medical journal or something. So the educated person also didn't read.
Yes, that's actually a sad thing to say, actually. Oh well.
That's what's happening in the world right now. Cannot blame it.
On to our main discussion, the nightmare on Job Street. We've all seen the headlines. Japan Airlines is replacing baggage handlers with robots to solve their labor shortages. But as robots move into the physical world, the white-collar workforce is facing a tech certificate crisis. The reality is traditional tech certifications are becoming obsolete as AI automates entry-level coding and analysis. Can you build using AI by itself? And also, to get a job in the post-AI era, the prompt monkey is dead. You really have to know what you're doing in order to be a good prompter. So, Kadri, what are we going to do about this? Robots are coming in. Automation is taking over a lot of the entry-level jobs. So how can you have senior managers if all the junior managers are gone? You need to have people to start at the bottom to work their way up so that there's some institutional knowledge in that. So what can we do? I mean, like, there has been sources that say that AI won't replace every job by 2026, but it's fundamentally reshaping the skills that we need. And with everybody else jumping onto the AI bandwagon, what are the skills that we need?
It's quite contradictory to the first Newsbyte, yeah, because right now we see that the token is getting more expensive. So hire more people rather than investing to the AI. But the robots is coming. Let's talk about the blue collar problem first, yeah. You know, at this time, we cannot rely on something that everybody can do. Just moving this box to these boxes. This is just a simple task, yeah. Robot can do that now. So better for the blue color, better to have some skills that, of course, this is a cliche one, cannot be replaced by the robots and AI. Just like barbershop, cutting some hairs, aircon man, even cutting the lawns, some physical things that cannot be replaced by robots.
Yes, indeed. But with the 80,000 white-collar jobs that have been lost in this quarter alone around the world, mostly within the tech companies, that's a lot of plumbers and pizza makers and HVAC servicemen to join in. So it's going to flood the market. But then again, some people say that the tech companies had overhired. So this is an actual culling of it all. So what's the future going to be? Is it going to be finding another job, find another tech company, find another industry, become an entrepreneur, or what? Become a YouTuber?
I think it's time to go back to your passion, and also you need to learn more skills to do. Yeah, if you haven't got time for learn more skill, sorry if you get fired or get laid off. This is for you to learn some skill.
I agree. I mean, like, whatever skill, I mean, like, the AI is here as a tool. And I think that if you're still in the office, using AI within the regulations of the company, like don't put any confidential data into a public AI platform. If you can show how it's being used and how it could streamline things, that will be a good step up for those who are still um, within the companies. If you're still looking for a job, that might be a little bit more difficult right now because it's a tight job market out there. But if you were to showcase your skill set, I think the most important thing would no longer be your certificates, unfortunately, but it's going to be your portfolio. What have you made with AI, vibe coding, or just pure programming, or even like a document of processes? You make that, and then you could showcase it, share it, be it on LinkedIn or on your website or Instagram. You show your talent, you show your resolve, you show your knowledge. That would probably be more beneficial to finding a a new position, or you go the entrepreneurship way, or such as food. It could be a good soup, it could be a sandwich, or maybe a kebab. Make that thing the best thing that you can do, and you can start opening your shop selling that. You could never go wrong with food. So yeah, I mean, there are other options, and I think a lot of people in the tech industry, including myself, we're seeing other angles, other avenues that's out there. I'm learning how to make French bread, which is not easy. So that would be something to learn.
I'm glad you learn some new things.
Can I do it right? Is the other question. So yeah, it takes.
At least you start lah. Yeah. Some people or most of the people are afraid to start. So even if you don't start now, then I don't know when you will start. But there is a dilemma for this educational degree and the certification, because our parents said that you must go to school, get a degree, and you will get the money from there. But now I cannot say that to my kids.
It's coming to a point where it used to be if you were part of the Ivy League schools in the US, or even the top schools in whatever country, you could get a job
Easily, yeah.
easily.
Yeah,
But even that is no longer a guarantee.
not happen right now.
Not happening right now. Between the AI bubble, the war, and the economy, it's going to be tough. So having a backup plan starting now is going to be critical. And what we can do to prepare ourselves, like if you're in a particular industry that you know is dying, it may be time to not only head for the exits but prepare a plan for that. So, or if you want to stay in the industry, what can you do to advance the industry further
Yeah, that's
with
what.
technology or without?
Yeah, that's what I'm always telling that to my children right now. You still need to go to school. You need to still get the degrees, but maybe not because the degree. You will get the networking in the schools, and also you get that mindset on how to prepare for the future, and also how to adapt to this new kind of world.
Yep. And that's the most important thing. It's the relationships within the school with all the various different diverse people from different economic backgrounds, different class structures or whatnot. So it's a good idea to always be in a community where you connect with people, have relationships with other people from different backgrounds, different economic stratas, different cultures. That gives you a much better idea of what you can serve to. So
Yes, by mingling with the people, you can see what's the problem surround you. And like what I said before, make some apps, make something that can be make the communities bigger or maybe productive.
it usually starts with a problem that you know very well. So you solve that with an app or without. That could be the start.
And just like a simple example, like Maybe you have a little store around your neighborhood and you can help them to not like a big technology thing, just implement something small for them. You know that AI can be implemented in this laptop, right? For using the open source, right? You don't need to do the cloud. You need to put it on GitHub or something. We even can do it for free in our laptop. So make it simple, like what's coming, what's come out, what will be the trend for some kind of products. You can make a simple analytic for this kind of little store because it doesn't need like a big computing system for that.
Yes, technology is getting better. So what's with all the data centers?
And if you're asking where's the money is, there is gift economics right now. There's a word that's saying that this is the gift economics era. So you giving and giving and giving, and then you also get something reward for this. Some say don't think about the money, just giving, 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 and then suddenly the money comes from itself.
There's a lot of Gen X stories that sometimes they just don't translate to the later generation.
Robert England should have his Oscar.
Yeah, I agree with that. So that's all for episode 16. As the bill for AI comes due and the courtroom battle heats up, remember, the tool is only as good as the human auditing it. So we'll be back next week with the latest information on the tech revolution. So I'm Vishnu K. Mahmood.
Nur Qadri, stay human.
Stay safe. Cheers.